kings and queens, deuces and aces. Those are the cards that will get you places on Card Sharks. This is the game where a single turn of the cards can win you up to $32,000 in cash. Now, here's your host, the star of Card Sharks, Brandon Scrub. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Card Sharks here at MVG Productions. Glad to have you with us. On our last episode, we crowned our first champion of the season, and he's back to see if he can hold on to that championship crown, win some more money this time. So let's meet our players now, starting with our red player here. He is our current champion who won yesterday with a cash total of $550. We have Boris. Boris, welcome back, sir.
Hello, and I hope that today will win even more.
Yes, I hope so as well. But anyway, good. I agree. Well, anyway, good luck to you. We're going to see how you do here playing against our opponent for you today. Your opponent in playing the blue side of the cards in for the first time here on Card Sharks. We have Nails. Nails, welcome in.
Great.
All right, tell everyone YouTube land a little bit about yourself.
I'm a struggling cashier at Target. And I like to bowl.
Nice. So you actually work at Target, because I'm so mad that there's not one near me right now, because they just at the time of filming this, they just released the Legends of the Hidden Temple board game along with Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and I want both of those for my collection.
I have the Hidden Temple board game.
Now I'm even more jealous of you, sir. We're gonna have to talk after the show.
Well, you can thank Neil Rock for that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hook me up with that later on. But anyway, we'll talk after the show. Right now, we got cards to get to. You guys ready to play?
Yes.
All right. it takes 2 games to win the match. Of course, you're calling high or low across the board. First person to do that wins the game, goes on to the money cards, and has a shot to win over $32,000 in cash. Of course, Boris, the champion, you'll be playing the red cards. Nails, the challenger, you'll be playing the blue cards. And our first game here on Card Sharks today starts with Boris, the champion, and this question. We asked 100 people, Boris, would you rather have an iPhone or have an Android device? How many people said they'd rather have an iPhone?
You said 41.
All right, apologize for that, folks. We're having some audio issues here on this episode, so we're gonna let Boris type in our chat box off screen here. Let me know what answer he says. But Boris on this one says the number of people that would prefer to have an iPhone rather than Android. He says 41. So that's what he's going with. Nails, do you say higher or lower than 41?
They want an iPhone?
Yeah, they'd rather have an iPhone versus an Android.
I want to say lower.
Let's say lower than that. All right, the actual number of people that rather have an iPhone versus having an Android is 51. It's not lower. All right, so
it's higher.
Yep. So Boris, you get control of your cards first. We get to start. You get to start with this opening card, which you can change because you won the question. It's a 3. He wants to.
He says change it.
All right, he wants to change the 3. All right, we'll change the 3 with the next card off the top of the deck.
What?
The 3 now becomes a 6.
Oh.
It says higher.
It says higher.
Higher than a 6. A 7. It's a 7.
Yeah.
And he's going lower. All right, lower than the 7.
Yeah.
No, it's a queen. You lose those 2 cards. Nails, that means you get a free shot to play with your base card, which is a queen.
Oh, I'm going to go lower.
All right, lower than the queen. It's a 2.
Higher.
Let's get higher than a 2. It's a 9.
Freeze it right there.
All right, freezing on the 9 with a 2-card lead, needing 2 cards to finish. Boris needs 1 card. We go on to the second question of the round. And Nails, this one's for you. We asked 100 people, would you rather be the person who achieves world peace for 500 years, or be the person who cures cancer? How many of 100 people said they'd rather be the person who cures cancer?
75.
75 out of 100. That's a good number there. Boris, higher or lower than 75? He says lower. All right. The actual number of people who would rather be the person who cures cancer versus achieving world peace for 500 years is 67. It's just a bit lower. All right, nicely done. Boris, you still have control of your cards. You have a 6. What do you want to do with it? Going to play the 6 and say lower. All right, lower than a 6. No, it's a queen. So you lose that card. Nails, you get a free play with your 9.
Oh, great. Higher.
Higher than the 9. Oh, it's a 7. You lose that card too. All right, third question of the round. This one goes back to Boris. Boris, we asked 100 people. Would you rather go back in time and meet your ancestors, or go forward in time and meet your great-great-grandkids? How many of 100 people said they'd rather go back in time and meet their ancestors?
58.
All right, 58 out of 100 said he'd rather go back in time and meet their ancestors. Nails, higher or lower than 58?
I'll go a little bit higher.
All right, he says a little higher there. The actual number of people who would rather go back in time and meet their ancestors versus meeting their great-grandkids is 54. It's not higher. I'm surprised. It's very close to getting that exact answer on the nose there, which, by the way, I haven't even mentioned this yet this season. If you do get the answer exactly on the nose in the upfront game here on one of the questions, you receive a $500 bonus. So that's yours to keep. And Boris, we're going to play with your cards. You have the 6. How do you want to play the 6? You can change it if you want.
He's gonna change it.
All right, changing the 6 with the next card off the top of the deck. The 6 now becomes a 2.
Ooh, it's a good card.
It's leg on my end.
All right, he says higher. Higher than the 2.
Higher.
It's a king.
And I'll tell you what it says, Brandon. Lower.
All right, he says going on lower than the king. Another 2.
God. Come on.
Another deuce.
Going on. He says
He's gonna go higher.
all right, higher than the 2. No, another 2. Loses those 3 cards. Nails, you get a shot to play with the 9.
Okay. I'm gonna go lower than a 9 this time.
Playing the odds this time. Lower than the 9. It's a 3.
Higher.
For game 1 of the match. Higher than a 3. It's a 4. He's got it.
They won the first game.
Nicely done, sir, there. Game 1 is yours. You got $250 in the bank for winning that one. And with that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to come back. We'll see if Boris can tie it up here in Card Sharks. We'll do that right after this. Stay tuned. Woo. Back here at Card Sharks, Nels has won the first game of the match, giving himself $250. Boris needs to win this one to tie up the matchup, and we go to our second round. And our first question goes to Nels this time. Nels, we asked 100 people, would you rather sneeze every 3 minutes or always have the sensation to sneeze but never do? How many people said they'd rather be tortured by having the sensation to sneeze but never do?
50.
50, right up the middle, going with 50. Boris, higher or lower than 50?
He says higher.
All right, going higher than 50. The actual number of people who would rather always have the sensation to sneeze and never do versus sneezing every 3 minutes is 37. It's not higher. All right, so that means Nails, you get first crack at the cards this time. This would be for the game of the match if you win this one. Starting with your base card of an ace.
Lower.
Lower than the ace. It's a queen.
Lower.
Playing again, lower than the queen. It's an 8, right up the middle.
What's 3?
Freezing right there, keeping Boris away from his cards, needing 2 more cards to win the game of the match. Go to question number 2. This one goes to Boris. Boris, we asked 100 people. Would you rather be immortal and have no friends, or be mortal and have friends? Yeah, how many people would say they'd rather be immortal and have no friends?
He says 11.
11 out of 100 said be immortal and have no friends. Nails, higher or lower than 11?
Higher.
Gonna go higher? Alright. Higher than 11. I'm actually interested to see what this one is. The actual number of people who would rather be immortal and have no friends versus being mortal and having friends is 28. It is higher. I'm surprised. I thought that might have been even less, possibly, because I personally like having friends. I mean, I'm okay being by myself, but I enjoy company sometimes, so that's just me. But anyway, Nels, you can control the cards. You got that 8. You have the right to change it if you'd like.
Rid of that.
Alright, changing that 8, next card off your top of your deck. That 8 now becomes another queen.
Lower.
Lower than the queen. It's a 10.
Lower for the game.
Game and the match, lower than a 10. No, it's a king. You lose both of those cards there. Boris, we go back to you. You get a free shot to play with your base card of a queen.
Nothing.
He says lower.
Lower than the queen. No, it's an ace. Oh, some evil
Man.
cards right now.
I think the cards are turning against them.
That's the one where Jim Barry. Yep.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see what happens here. We go to our third question of the round. This one goes to Nels. Nels, we asked 100 people, would you rather be forgotten or be hatefully remembered? How many people said they'd rather be hatefully remembered?
Do you want to be what?
Hatefully remembered. Like, the people remember them, but they remember them for the wrong reasons. How many people would rather be remembered like that or versus being completely forgotten?
46.
46 out of 100, he says. Boris, you want to go higher or lower than 46?
And he says lower.
Says he's going to go lower than that. All right. The actual number of people who would rather be hatefully remembered versus being completely forgotten is 30. It is lower.
Wow.
I'm very surprised to see that. All right, Boris, you're in control of your cards. You've got a queen.
He says higher.
Going against the odds for the queen. Interesting to say. He maybe thinks it's a king or an ace. Let's see. We're going higher than a queen. No, it's a 6.
Low. That was
a 6. So yeah, Remember this game, players, just to help you out as a reminder, the order goes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jack, queen, king, ace. Ace is the high card here. Deuce is the low card. Nels, you get a free shot to play with your queen.
Lower.
Going lower than the queen. It's a 9.
I'm daring. I'm gonna go higher.
Playing against the odds, going higher for the game and the match. Higher than a 9. It's a 10. We got a new champion.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Nels. You are the winner today. You got yourself $500. You're going on to play the money cards in just a minute. Boris, thank you for playing, sir. You're not leaving here empty-handed. $550 cash is yours. And our thanks for playing. We'll have you back on another game. And folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Nels is playing the money cards right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Card Sharks here. We're here with our new champion, Nels, who's won himself $500 in cash. Now going to take a shot here, play the money cards. Nels, here's how it works. We're going to start you off that bottom row with $200 of new betting money. Bet your way across the bottom row. Once you get to the second row, we'll give you an additional $400. Bet your way across those 4 cards there. Betting minimum $50 bet with $50 increments until you get up to the big bet at the top of the board, which you must risk half your money. If you can go double, double, double all the way to the top of the money cards, pays off over $32,000 in cash. And of course, you can change 1 card on each row with one of the 3 spare cards on the side of the board, okay? So best of luck to you. Here's $200. And let's start with your opening base card, which is going to be an 8.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to change it with number 1.
All right, changing with number 1. That 8 now becomes a 5. A little bit better.
I'm going to go 50 higher.
All right, minimum bet $50. Higher than a 5. No, it's a 4. All right, you're down to 150, but you have a little bit better card now.
Okay. I'm going to go 100 higher.
Let's get $100 higher than the 4. There you go. It's a king. Up to $250.
Okay. I'm gonna go 200 lower.
$200 more. Lower than the king. Yes, it's another 5. Nicely done. Up to $450. We're going to move that 5 up to the second row, give you additional $400. But you're up to $850 now, and you have a 5.
Okay, I'm gonna go 150 higher.
$150. Higher than the 5. It's a jack. Up to an even $1,000 now.
I'm gonna go all of it lower.
What?
Betting the house on a jack.
Oh my
$1,000 lower than a jack. It's a 4. It pays off. $2,000, sir, and you now have a 4.
Let's go 1250 higher.
Big bet on the 4 as well. $1,250. Higher than a 4. It's a 10. $3,250 is yours, Nils. As we move that 10 up to the big bet right now, you now must bet $16.25 here on the 10, or you can change it.
Change it, but I don't know which one I'm going to change it with yet. 3.
Changing with number 3, a very important change here. That 10 now becomes an ace.
Uh-oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm going all of it lower.
Can't lose on a push. So as long as this is not another ace, you're walking out of here with $6,500, $3,250, lower than the ace. It's a 9. We got a winner. Congratulations, Nels. $6,500 added to your upfront winnings. You now have a grand total of $7,000 in cash. And folks, we still got time for another game of Card Sharks, so we'll take a quick commercial break. Back with another opponent for Nels right after this. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Card Sharks here with our new champion, Nels, who's won $7,000 in cash on this one. And so far, he's still the reigning champion. We're going to see how he does in this next game, playing against his next opponent. Playing in the blue position this time, we have Mr. Eric Lima. Eric, how we doing?
I'm doing wonderful, Brandon.
Fantastic. Remind everyone YouTube land about yourself, sir.
My name is Eric Lima. I am from New Bedford. I hail from New Bedford, Massachusetts. I am a Red Sox Patriots fan. I love playing video games, and I am a drummer, and I love anything 80s and 90s, and I'm a big wrestling fan.
Awesome, excellent. You got a pretty cool podcast on YouTube, The People's Lima. You should check it out. Just search for Eric Lima on YouTube. Check him out. Awesome stuff. Are you ready to play some Card Sharks, sir?
I am ready. I practiced on the money cards in one of my episodes, so we'll be ready to go here.
Best of luck to you. All right, we're going to start with game number 1 here. This one's first question, of course, goes to our champion, Nels. So good luck, and we start Card Sharks with this. We asked 100 people, Nels, would you rather lose your preferred hand or lose your preferred foot? How many people said they would rather lose their preferred hand?
Ooh. I'm going to go up the middle say 50.
50 out of 100 say they lose preferred hand. Eric, higher or lower than 50?
This is a tough call to make on this one because if you lose,
That's why
it won't be
I did
too
it.
much. If you're a musician or art or a writer or an artist, something like that. And also, if you want to be a walker or a jogger and have exercise, you don't want to lose your foot either. So, it's a tough call to make. I'm going to have to say a little bit lower.
Gonna be a little lower than that.
A little lower than that.
All right, actual number of people who would rather lose their preferred hand versus their preferred foot is 33. It is lower.
Hey, okay. There you go.
All right, so Eric, you get your choice. You get your chance to play your cards first. You're playing the blue cards as well as being the challenger, and you get to start your game off with a 6.
Change it.
All right, changing that 6 with the next card off the top of the deck. The 6 now becomes a 7. A little worse, unfortunately.
But the odds go higher than that.
Playing the odds higher than the 7. It's a king.
Lower.
Playing lower than the king. It's a 5.
Go higher.
Playing on higher than the 5. No, it's a 4. You lose back to the base card. And give Nels a free chance to play with his base card of a 6.
I'm gonna try higher.
Higher than the 6. It's a 7.
I'm gonna freeze it right there.
Okay, freezing there, playing the odds, giving yourself a 1 card advantage. As we go to question number 2 here with Eric. Eric, this one's yours. Eric, we asked on to people, would you rather be credited with the invention of the wheel or being credited with the invention of the internet? How many people said they'd rather be credited for inventing the internet?
Oh, that could be a very high number because the internet has done a lot of wondrous things for a lot of us folks out there. And
Yeah, I mean, without the internet, we wouldn't be doing this show right now.
yeah, exactly. And having a lot of fun, sharing stuff, buying stuff, and all that. It's going to be a pretty high number. I'm going to say about 75.
75 out of 100 there say rather be invented the internet. Nails higher or lower than 75?
Oh, a little bit higher than that.
A little bit higher than that. We'll see. The actual number of people who'd rather be credited for inventing the internet versus inventing the wheel is 87. It is higher.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hey, Grunk's number.
Talk about being internet famous, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Nels, you got that 7. How do you want to play it?
Let's say goodbye to that 7.
Okay, bye-bye 7. You now become an ace.
Lower.
Lower than the ace. It's a queen.
So what do I have?
You have a queen.
Lower.
Going on lower than the queen. It's a 7.
I'm gonna freeze right there.
Freezing on the 7, keeping Eric away from his cards, needing 1 card left to finish the first round of the match. Third question now. This one goes back to you, Nels. Nels, we asked 100 people. Would you rather spend some quality time alone or spend some quality time with family? How many of 100 people said they'd rather spend quality time alone?
I'm gonna go 65.
65 out of 100 said they'd rather spend some time alone. Eric, what about you? Higher or lower than 65?
Oh, it's a tough call to make. There's lots of times I spend time alone, and I've always wanted to spend time with my family, but especially my family goes off camping and all that, and I stay here because of work. So, spend time alone, huh? It all depends on how the person feels about their family as well. I'd say a little bit lower than that.
Let's say a little bit lower than that. All right, the actual number of people who'd rather spend quality time alone versus spending quality time with family is 29. It is lower. Significantly lower. Guess people value the time spent with family nowadays. All right, Eric, you get control of the cards. You've got that 7.
Well, let's change that 7.
All right, it's changing the 7. Next card off the top of your deck. That 7 now becomes a deuce.
Higher.
Higher than the deuce. It's a jack.
Lower.
Lower than the jack. It's a 4.
Definitely higher.
Playing higher than the 4. No, another 4. Loses all the way back to the deuce. Nels free shot the 7 for the first game of the match.
I'm gonna go with the odds and say higher.
Higher, good for game one of the match, $250. Higher than the 7. It's a king. You got game one. Well done, sir. Another $250 for you. Puts you up to $72.50 now. Game one. Eric can still catch up, so let's go ahead and reset the board and go to game number 2 now. All right, reset the board with the next cards off the top of the deck, and this question now goes to Eric for this one. Eric, we asked 100 people, would you rather be able to fight like Mike Tyson or talk like Mike Tyson? How many of the 100 people said they'd rather talk like Mike Tyson?
Wow.
Oh, that could be it's gonna be a very high number because I don't think anybody would be dumb enough to step in the ring with Mike Tyson. You know, and so I'm going to say a very high number. I'm going to go with, let's say, about 80 people.
80 out of 100 said they'd rather talk like Mike Tyson than fight him.
Okay.
Nails higher or lower than 80?
I'm gonna go lower.
You're going to go lower than that. All right. Let's see. The actual number of people that rather talk like Mike Tyson instead of fighting Mike Tyson is 45. It is definitely lower. That's surprising that more than half the people in the world are like, I'll fight Mike Tyson.
I think they're afraid that Mike Tyson will beat him up regardless.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Fight him while
All right, we'll start, Nails, with your base card for this second game of the match here. You get to start with your base card. An 8.
7 or 8.
All right, changing that 8 with the next card off the top of the deck. That 8 now becomes a king.
Lower.
Going on lower than the king. It's a queen.
Lower.
And again, lower than the queen. It's a 10.
I'm gonna freeze.
Freezing on the 10, keeping Eric away from his cards. Needing 2 more cards to win the first game of the match. Question 2 goes to you, Nails. Nails, we asked 100 people. Would you rather sell all of your possessions or sell one of your organs? How many of 100 people said they'd rather sell all of their possessions?
I'm gonna say that's a high number. 70.
70. 70 out of 100 said they'd rather sell their possessions. Eric, higher or lower than 70?
A little lower than that.
So it's just a little lower than that. We'll see. The actual number of people that would rather sell all of their possessions versus selling one of their organs is 40. It is lower.
Wow.
Surprising there.
Yeah.
All right, Eric, you get to play your cards. You start with a base card this round of a king.
Or
Going lower than the king. It's an 8.
8. Worst card in the deck. Let's see if I'm going to try. I'm going to try lower. I'm going to try to play it and go lower.
Risking playing the odds, hoping for lower than an 8. No, it's a 9. You lose that card there. Nails, free play with a 10.
I don't know what the odds say. Lower.
Playing the odds lower than the 10. Sorry. There's a 9. What do you say, Nails?
What is it? I couldn't hear.
Sorry, it's a 9.
I'm gonna freeze it right there.
Freezing with the 9. You do 1 card to win the game of the match. Eric, you need to get back in this one. Question 3 goes to you, Eric, and this is an interesting one. I'm curious to see what your answer is on this one. We asked 100 people, who would you rather meet, Taylor Swift or Justin Bieber? How many of the 100 people said they'd rather meet Taylor Swift?
How many people believe me and Taylor Swift over Justin Bieber? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Cut out.
Yeah,
That's good. You know, personally, I like to meet Taylor Swift. I think she's very beautiful and gorgeous. So it's going to be a high number. I'm going to have to say 85 on this one.
85 out of 100 rather meet Taylor Swift than Justin Bieber. What do you think, Nails? Higher or lower than 85?
Made it difficult for me now. I'm gonna say a little bit lower. I think it's in the 70 range. I think.
Just a little bit lower. All right.
I could be wrong.
We'll see what happens here. Actual number of people that rather meet Taylor Swift versus meeting Justin Bieber is 73. It is a little lower.
All right, now so it was in the 70s range.
No, surprising.
Guess it.
Nails, you have that 9.
I'm going to say C at 9. Get out of here.
All right, we're going to change the 9. Next card off the top of the deck. 9 now becomes a king.
Lower.
For the game and the match, lower than a king. It's an 8. He wins.
What?
Congratulations, Nails. Another $250 for you. You're up to $7,500. And another trip back to the money cards for you in Meta. But Eric, thank you for playing, sir. We got some lovely parting gifts for you. We'll have you back on another episode.
I'd be more than happy to be back.
All right, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, Nails is going to take a shot at the money cards right after this. Welcome back to Card Sharks here with our champion Nails, who's got himself $7,500 and ready to take on the money cards once again. You know how this works, Nails, so we're going to get right to our game. Good luck to you. Load the cards in, and here's your first $200.
Okay.
Alright, good luck to you. We're going to start with this base card in the money cards this time of a jack.
150 lower.
Betting $150. Lower than the jack. Yes, it's a 6. Up to $350.
Changing it with number 1.
Alright, changing with number 1. That 6 now becomes a king.
Good one.
250 lower.
$250. Lower than a king. It's an 8 right up the middle. You got $600 and the 8.
50 lower.
Minimum bet $50. Don't blame you. Lower than the 8. It's a 7. You're right. Got $650. We're gonna move that 7 up. Give you the additional $400. You're up to $1,050 now, Nels, and you've got that 7.
Let's say goodbye to that with number 2.
All right, changing it with number 2. That 7 now becomes an ace.
There you go.
Element lower.
$1,050. All of it lower than the ace. It's a king. You have a king and $2,100.
Okay. I got 2,100
Yes, sir.
because it's lag on my screen. 2,000 lower.
Big bet on the king. We do not want to see an ace here.
Yeah, I don't
$2,000 lower than a king. It's a 6. $4,100 now, Nels, and you've got a 6.
I'm gonna go 1,100 higher.
All right, $1,100. A sizable bet for a 6. We'll see how it plays. Higher than the 6. It's a 7. $5,200. We're gonna move that 7 up to the big bet line. You must bet at least $2,600, and you have 1 card left to change it with. You want to change it.
I am changing it with number 3. So.
All right, a very important change here. We'll see. That 7 now becomes a jack.
Ooh.
Okay.
Must bet at least $2,600 here.
Oh, I got so much. Oh.
You get 2 kings, 1 ace out, and all 4 queens are still there.
You know what? No guts, no glory. All of it lower.
Oh, wow. He's going for everything.
No queen, no king, no ace.
Yeah,
We're going for 5. It's either all of it. You're going to lose it all, or you're going to have $10,400 in cash. Good luck to you. $5,200. All of it lower than a jack. It's an 8. We got a big winner.
Oh, thank God.
You and me both there.
I'd be.
Wow. Congratulations, sir. Another $10,400 in cash. Add that to your total there. You now have a grand total of $17,900 in cash. In cash, that's all yours, and you're now the new champion here on Card Sharks. Well played, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you. You'll be joining us back next time to defend that Card Sharks championship. And again, thanks to all my players for playing along with us, and thanks for you guys at home for watching another great episode here of Card Sharks. Remember, if you like the series, click that like button, hit the share button, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you never miss a video I drop here at MVG Productions. And until the cards are dealt once again, we play some more Card Sharks. I'm your host, Brandon Scruggs, saying thanks for watching another episode. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye for now, folks.
Thank you.